Yeah, let's jump into this first story, man. This is crazy stuff. We got this from timcast.com. Breaking. Shelter in place issued in Tucson, Arizona following hazardous material leak on I-10. Civilians within a 1-mile radius have been ordered to evacuate. The stretch of road has reportedly been closed in both directions at milepost 272. Civilians within a 1-mile radius have been ordered to evacuate. The Arizona Department of Transportation has not issued an estimated time for I-10's reopening as of this report's publication. We have this video from Roz Alerts. Is that how you say it? Let's see if we can play this. Take a look at this. Let me get the audio going for you guys. There we go. So I don't know what that yellow stuff spraying out of there is, but I certainly wouldn't want to be anywhere near it. So there it is. I mean, simply put, they say Tucson's National Weather Service cautioned drivers of dense blowing dust prior to the trucks overturning. Motorists traveling along I-10 should be prepared for rapidly reduced visibility below a mile to blowing dust. Images and video from the incident show what appears to be yellow and red smoke emitting from the overturned truck, which was reportedly carrying nitric acid, according to Pima County's Office of Emergency Management and Tucson Fire. This seems like it may just be an accident. And accidents happen. So my question for you guys, I'm wondering, is it because of what's happening in Ohio, we are now laser focused on things like this that we probably shouldn't be that worried about? Or, I mean, or is there another reason we typically, I'll put it this way. We usually don't hear big news about 1-mile evacuation orders and shelter in place orders. I mean, I feel like that'd be big news no matter what, whenever it would happen. But maybe we just don't care, so it never makes Twitter, it never makes the news.
I think you're probably right that it's people kind of focusing on this stuff because of the situation in Ohio. I think that Ohio is dramatic. It's clearly something that the EPA and transportation TSA or not the
Buttigieg.
Yeah,
National
Buttigieg.
Transportation Safety Board.
Department of Buttigieg.
And TSB or whatever, they should be paying attention to that. I think that this situation in Tucson is likely just an accident, unfortunately.
But we don't hear stories like this. I mean, I kind of feel like if there was it's a 1-mile radius evacuation, I feel like if that were to happen at any other time, we'd be talking about it.
I think the only reason that
Really?
I do that
Yeah.
I think so personally.
I feel like it's hard to go down the rabbit hole. Not hard to not go down the rabbit hole. It's, do we believe in coincidences? Maybe things like this happen all the time, but it seems a little suspiciously close to it. I mean, you can't help but wonder. And then it also seems concerning because we mentioned Mayor Pete, who had that big press conference, but failed to mention what I've seen people talking about as the worst man-made disaster to ever happen on American soil.
Is what's happening now in Ohio?
In Ohio, yeah.
And we're like 2 hours away from there.
We are not very far from that at all.
That's
we are
creepy.
definitely in that radius.
Tucker Carlson suggested we're under attack.
Well, when's
Tonight?
the last time Tucker Carlson
Last
didn't
night.
say we were under attack?
I mean, but you look at what's so for one thing, I think it's fair to say it's a fact that the power grid's being attacked. We've got numerous reports of extremists, I guess, whether you believe it or not, but numerous reports of some kind of extremists shooting at power substations and knocking electricity out. So like that's happening.
Yep.
But then you've got, I mean, I don't know how you look. You've got the toxic chemical spill. You've got the balloons in our air, the objects floating in our airspace, interfering with civilian commercial airlines. And yeah, I don't know. I can't help but feel like our infrastructure is being attacked. You've got food shortages in certain areas, eggs specifically. But then you look at the culling of chickens, and this is the messaging we got when we talked about it. People were like, "You keep blaming Joe Biden for the cost of eggs, but you're not telling people about the avian flu that's sweeping through the chicken populations." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, like in New Zealand and South Africa where they're culling chickens too. Why are they culling chickens? Different reasons. For some reason, everybody's culling chickens in different countries. Maybe just a big coincidence."